on Facebook. You never went over there to do that. When it came, I believe that whole thing with him harassing me, I want to say, but correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not entirely sure, because again, it was a year and a half ago, but I do believe it made its way to Bella's accountability court on that following Sunday. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I believe that it did. I never went to the accountability court, but she never made her way over there to apologize. You never apologized to me. When all of that stuff came out with Char B and Trina and Alex, you never apologized to them either. You never apologized to them, ever. But you want to get on your high horse and say you're never on the wrong side of history till you have the facts. Well, now you got the facts. And why have they not received an apology? Why have I not received an apology? And yeah, I'm going to make this about me, because that's fucked up. Because we're supposed to be fucking women. We're supposed to be better than these men. And it's people like her is the reason why these men continue to do the abusive things that they do. You understand what I'm trying to say? Like, come on. And that shit pissed me off. And no, and I see y'all on the internet. I saw those 2 clips. Shout out to everybody on Messy Talk, because y'all on Asiababy's motherfucking neck. Stay on her neck, because I'm not going to be, I told you I'm be in Atlanta in a couple days. Shout out to Jermaine Dupri. I appreciate that. I'm going to be covering his new album. He's got an album release party for his new docuseries. I gotta plug this real quick while y'all in here. He's got a docuseries coming out about Magic City, so I'm gonna spend some time at Magic City, and I'm gonna spend some time with Pandora, but we're going to his album release party in Atlanta over the week. So I want y'all to make sure, please watch the docuseries, okay? So it comes out August 15th. I'm gonna be in Salt Lake City by the time it gets released, but I want y'all to make sure you watch it. But yeah, I'm like, I had to get on here because I was like, you know what? I'm not about to sit around and let the South forget. No, I want y'all to remember, like, that woman did a lot of people dirty on the strength of terrible men. And I don't know if it just stops at that Chef Tam Bam guy and James. There could be more men she's done it to. I don't know where her entire social media presence is. You know what I mean? I don't know what all other parts of social media she's made her way to, but I know that she had, that shit really fucked me up for a little bit. I'm telling you, it didn't fuck me up monetarily, because you can't stop this money. But it did fuck me up in a sense of like how I looked at her. You know what I mean? Like, I looked at, like, her being a black woman. I'm just like, damn, that's crazy, And I had to really sit down and reflect, like, did I really do this nigga dirty by blocking him? Like, I don't want you in my space. I block you. He goes, finds the first pick me, and boom, bam, she just platforms him and just gives him full reign of her social media page. You know what I mean? To be on her platform and sit down with her and kiki with her. And I was just like, but no one ever offered me an apology. Nobody. Sheesh. Remember, some of your comments. You said, where do we watch it at, Nosy? On Stars. You said she's capped for Mr. Washington. No, not Mr. Washington. Mr. Washington's story is a bit different, because I feel like Mr. Washington be tricked. He don't be tricking. He be getting tricked on. And I just feel like, I don't know, his story's different. I feel like it's in a different realm. Like, I can't explain it, but I just feel like it's like different. I don't know how to explain it. It's just like different. What's up, 1111? It's just different. It's just like, how, if women want to fly him out to get fucked on, like, that's their business. I don't want to get into that. I feel like that's old people shit, You say, yeah, he different. Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm like, oh, because that's all I know about Mr. Washington. He get flued out to lay it down. So I don't know how much of the story there is about that. I just feel like that's old people's business, You say Asia also was against Barb when the text message stuff came out too. What text message stuff? Not my Barb. Did he want to be a trick? You can't be a trick without money. I can trick. I can trick. You know what I mean? Because it ain't tricking if you got it. But I can. I don't know about him now. I'd have to go back and I gotta call Barb. Because let Barb find out. Let Barb find out Asiababy once again in the limelight, defending a toxic loser ass nigga. Child. He said, not old stuff. I'm just saying, like, Mr. Washington is like near his 50s and stuff. Like, I feel like everybody deserves a little, and if they want to pay him to do it, that's their business. He said, I worry about them kids. I don't know how many kids Mr. James has, but like, it's just bad. I'm like, how has CPS never been involved in their lives? He just seems like a terrible person to just like coexist with. He's loud. He doesn't look like he takes a bath. Like he doesn't work. Where does the money come from? Like how is the house functioning? How is like what is the they don't go on vacations? No one's ever going out. They're never out to dinner. Snappa always looks disheveled. You know, she looks crazy. What's up, Hacienda? She always, hair be all over the place. They all just walk around with braids to the back, the plaits to the back. I'm just like, it's just a mess. You said CPS came today, but they left. Oh, well, I mean, I guess that starts the report. Oh, what's up, Jaw Dropper? You said government assistance. What is your Facebook? Why? You said Washington mad at AI. I cannot. Lord. You said, I can't get past them getting this cousin pregnant and he's proud about it. He got his cousin. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Isn't that how he got on the morning show talking about that? That was like one of his big things people talked about, him getting his cousin pregnant. That's crazy. Yeah, I remember that. God, how long we all been on TikTok? It's almost been about 5 years now. So you guys, TikTok is like this moving machine. It just doesn't stop. The stories just get layered, I forgot all about that. Got away with that too. What's up, Mommy Money? You said wait till I know a lot of people are new to Messy Talk. You got to go down the James rabbit hole. It's deep and disgusting. And like, I never interacted with the guy. Because I never liked him. I just always thought he was just crap, so I never interacted with him. He's never been on. Anytime I ever had a panel, he was never invited to it. And I never paneled up with him. You know what I mean? I just always just was like, he was just like, you know what I mean? He was just one of those people just like, I don't even like to hear you talk. It's just, I just never like, I don't know. I just never, it's hard to say. Yeah, he is creepy. He's creepy and he's gross. And he's just like a gross man. And it's just like, especially like, like the niggas I know and the niggas I be fucking on, I just be like, I just would look pathetic. Like, just even coexisting with that. Like, I don't know. There's something about him. It's just gross, But like, that's all. I've only saw 2 clips when I got to go for a walk. I'm waiting for the heat index. Let me see. I'm waiting for the UV index to drop. What is it? Okay, when the UV index gets to 2, it's at 5 right now. When the UV index gets to 2, I'll go for a walk outside. I just can't go now because, I don't want to get skin cancer or nothing like that. But yeah, you see, he won't lower your property value. I don't know, I just feel like he is. He said, damn, Nosy, you got a roster. Who don't? You said, hey, he said, you lucky he can't come up. He in here. You lucky he can't come up. He would never be allowed up in here. He got bigger fish to fry. You fucking, diddling on kids and shit. Like, or adolescents or whatever the fuck you want. Teenagers. Let's just say teenagers. Diddling on teenagers and shit. He got bigger fish to fry. I would never let him up here. No motherfucking how. I don't give a fuck if that nigga in here or not. Tell him go platform himself with Asiababy, and then they both could take a wild ride down motherfucking memory lane. I don't give a fuck about that nigga. The fuck? Like, nigga, I'll spit on you. Please don't you ever think even if he wasn't here, which I don't think he is, even if you wasn't here, I would never give you the time of day to come in my presence. Go square up with a nigga. How about that? Go square up with a man. The fuck you in here for? Trying to talk about, oh, I'm in here. Nigga, you ain't in here. There's plenty, and I've seen a couple clips, 2 clips today. There's plenty of niggas on your ass right now. Go square up with them. Fuck you doing talking over here, trying to talk to women. That's his problem now. But he's a bully. James is a bully. And the way that he gets his victims, because that's what they are, they're victims. The way that he gets them is he bullies them to submission. That's how he gets even women to give him the time of day. He beats them to a pulp, not physically, but an emotional pulp where he's just, they're nothing. And then he's all I got. He's all I know. That shit don't work on no real bitch. How it worked on Asiababy, child, that's between her and her therapist. But for the rest of us, that shit don't work on us. So take you, them scrap clothes that you keep mending together, that wild hair, that funky ass house, and be on your merry motherfucking way. Cause not around here, partner. Not around here. Not around these ports. You said, that's how they do them. Shake my head. That's the only way. A man like James could never, with a woman who, if Snappa had actual self-confidence in herself, if she knew how beautiful she was, he could never. He could never. And the reason why he could never is because when you have confidence in yourself, you also have boundaries. Confidence comes with boundaries. And a man like James is a loser. James is a loser who surrounds himself around people he can bully. And when he can bully them, he feels like a king. And the only way to break that cycle is to truly separate from him. And I think at the time that Sharby and Trina and Alex was helping Snappa get away from him, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Snappa was pregnant at the time. I think she was pregnant at the time, or I think she had just had the baby, but I want to say she was pregnant at the time. And Snappa had that one chance to get out. But he had destroyed her self-confidence so bad that she never thought she could survive without him. She never thought she could survive without him. And that's ultimately the reason why she returned, because she has no self-confidence. She has no real powerful women in her life. Imagine somebody with Snappa's self-esteem, which is quite low, right? Somebody with Snappa's self-esteem, and the only other woman around her is Asiababy, a pick-me. Just let that sink in. Your self-confidence is to the ground. You're with a man who is verbally assaulting you every day. And the only woman that you could actually talk to, maybe on a public platform, is a pick-me who's probably telling you, oh, just work it out. Oh, he's just having a rough day. A rough day of what? He doesn't work. Oh, he's having a rough day. You just smooth it over. Maybe cook him some dinner. It's like, when you really need a bitch like me around. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? You really need a bitch like me around. Because I would have been told Snappa to throw some hot grits on that nigga in his sleep. That's what that's what it would have been. That's exactly what it would have been. Yeah, so what, you get arrested? At least you could sleep somewhere else tonight, quiet. Be in jail for a couple of days till your arraignment. Take a plea deal. Spend a year in jail. Get your life together. But that nigga won't be able to find you. Or go to the police station. Tell them you're a DV victim. They'll put you somewhere. They'll take you out of the state to put you somewhere safe. But imagine you're grip ball. But having low self-esteem, you cannot surround yourself around pick-me's. They will only get you in situations like this. Not that Asiababy has anything to do with this situation with Asiababy has nothing, let me correct myself. Asiababy has nothing to do with the situation with James and his perverted ways. James a pervert before he met anybody, okay? Before he met Snappa and before he met Asia. So he's been a pervert. But when I heard, oh, Empress, you're in here. You're going to recap all this tonight. Let me make sure I clock in to hear that, because I got to hear your take on this. But when you play the clip of, whose fucking panel was that? Breaking was on the panel. Essence was on the panel. Asiababy was on the panel. Was Bryce on the panel? Or was it his panel? I can't remember. It was Bryce's panel. Okay. If you hear that clip, Empress, and you hear what she say before they drop her, your mind is blown. When she said, I don't know, I wasn't there. Like, you got to be there to. You could hear the grooming in his language when he said he was training her, and Snappa says, "Well, why was your hand up under her shirt?" And he says she just sat there, not Snappa, but the daughter just sat there. He's talking. It's a training exercise. It's the only time I touched her. It was a training exercise. That is grooming. That is grooming language. James is an incompetent, illiterate, backwooded ass nigga. He can't teach you anything. James can't even get a pistol in his name. There's nothing, and I do mean nothing, that James could teach you. Not self-defense, not self-confidence, and most certainly not how to fend off predators. So the fact that James is going around this app claiming that he can't teach you anything, he is an illiterate piece of shit. And all he can teach you how to do is beg. and yell and scream and abuse. So the fact that he keeps, and shout out to everybody who's been clocking him, because again, I only saw 2 clips, but from the 2 clips alone, it sounded like everybody was on his ass. Like, dude, that is not training. That is, you were touching that girl. That is grooming. He is grooming her. So the first time, it's the only time in history, the messy talk links up. By tomorrow, it'll fracture. But this is the first time, you know, messy talk is like, no, nigga, you gotta go. Like, messy talk, there's a lot that they will handle. There's a lot that they will accept. But this ain't it. This, hats off to y'all, because this, apparently this has been happening since last night. I've only listened to 2 clips before I went live while I was at the gym, but y'all been on his ass for some time, for a couple of hours now, and more than a couple of hours, you know, more than 15 hours now, and y'all on his ass. Like, I have not seen one person, except the Asiababy, I have not seen one person say, oh, you guys are blowing this out of proportion. Not one person. Not one person. Not one. I have yet to see one person other than Asiababy say, well, it's not grooming, and then try to police how people report him. Like, well, make sure you tell the police that she's 18, and make sure you tell the police, well, it was not grooming because she really wasn't there that long. But go ahead and report it. But just make sure you preface it. You don't got to preface anything. You don't got to preface anything. You can tell the police whatever the fuck you want to tell them, and the police are going to do a good job. They're going to discover all that information on their own. But for now, report it how you see it. You know? But yeah, it's a mess. Yeah, it's a mess. Yeah, report that. Thank you, Attorney Mimi. Report that shit. You know, what's up, Cash Money Mel? You said she said an Epstein joke with him. Who said Epstein joke with him? You said, I don't care if she's 55. It's still SA. Yeah, it's a mess. The whole shit is trifling. Somebody needs to go ahead and backhand snapper and put James in jail. That's my advice to everybody. But not Asia did. These are both. They don't need help. They need prison. Help is for people with care. Help is for people who understand their wrongs, right? That's how you help people. Help is not for people who are walking around saying grooming is training and grooming can't happen because you weren't there long enough. You know, that's not. Those people don't need help. They need to be underneath prisons. You know? Yeah. This is from the Jack Fact. You said, and then said the daughter wanted to leave because she didn't feel safe. The CPS came today and they said everything they said everything they said was a lie. Oh, I don't know what that means. I don't know anything about the CPS being there. I don't know anything about CPS being there. But they still should be under a jail. And slap her. And I wish she would have left. I wish she would have left when Sharby and Trina and Alex was helping her. That was her time to leave. That was her time to leave. She had the most support that she probably will ever get on this app at that one time. She had one time to leave. That's it. And read your comments. You said the way my pew would have got trained that day. You said James Snapper is gonna get a house out of this. How? That one room shack ain't enough. James Snapper said everything they said was a lie. You said the touching happened 4 years ago and she still don't care if it happened. You said, Nosy, did you stop sniffing that white stuff? Yeah, I did. I switched to crack, the hard stuff. You said, not she in here swinging at folks. Who in here? You said, they are begging in between the fuss. You said, because he crowdfunding, people giving him money now. You said, snap here. I don't give a fuck where she at. She should be in a homeless shelter. I don't know why the fuck she in here. I ain't got no dollars for you. I ain't got no dollars and no cents for you. I ain't got nothing for you. When they was crowdfunding to get you away from that nigga, I gave every gift that I could give at the time you was live streaming at that motherfucking bus station. Bitch, I can't give you another dollar. Tapped out. Tapped out. You said, what's up, Clover? I'm just saying. I ain't got it. I don't know why the fuck they here. You like, I don't get it. Y'all, why are you here? You're not welcome here. Y'all are not welcome here. This is not a soft landing for bums and losers. This is not what this is. That's not what this place is. This place is not a soft landing for bums and losers. Like, that's just not it. And no, Snapper can't be on my neck. She can't afford to be on my neck. The only thing on my neck is this $2,100 Tiffany necklace. And it's in 18 karat gold. That's the only thing that sits on my neck. That's this. That's the only thing that never comes off. Can't nobody be on my neck. Not no nigga on Messy Talk. She got bigger fish to fry. There are other niggas on her neck. Baby, I'm the last person you need not worry about. Because I promise you, once I finish this live, everybody knows I won't be back for another week and a half. It'll be another story by then. We're not even in the same bracket. We're not, and I'm not even talking about dollars and cents. I'm not even talking about, oh, you a broke bitch. I don't even give a fuck if you're a broke bitch. We're not even in the same level of confidence. We're not even in the same level of anything. She can't be on my neck. And I understand, Jessica Gator, you're cute, you're funny, you're trying to, I know you're trying to rile it up because that's what y'all do. But I don't find that to be funny because it's like, it's not. And Snappa knows it. Snappa knows she'll never be a bitch like me. She'll never drive a Benz like me. She'll never live in a $3,000 high rise like me. She'll never be able to afford her own Tiffany jewelry like me. She'll never get flued out to Atlanta, which is exactly what I'm about to do, to go and listen to Jermaine Dupri's new album. She'll never be able to do that. And I'm doing that in 2 days. I'll be in Atlanta in 2 days, being paid to be flown out and cover the music technically I don't want to listen to, but I'm going to, because they're paying for me to do that in my own hotel with my own driver. Like, you can never, there is no, oh, you can't sit on Steph's neck. Steph is really that girl. Period. Like, I just came on here to talk to Asiababy and about her propping up men. This ain't nobody even trying to talk to Snappa. Like, when Snappa gets self-confidence, she's more than welcome to come right back here and talk to me. But until you get that, you and I are not the same. You and I are not in competition. You and I are nothing. You don't even have the confidence to leave a nigga with no job. You can't be on nobody's neck. You can't even get your hair done. You can't even, you with a nigga who won't even give you money to hustle some money for you to get your nails done. You wake up every day, you look like shit, you eat like shit, you dress like shit because of the nigga you laying next to. When there are plenty of niggas out there who'll take you and your motherfucking kids and give you the life that you deserve, but you too fucking slow. Period. You too slow. So you and I could never. There's no argument. That's why I would never look. Let me get Snap on the panel and argue with. What is there to argue about? She's a low life ass bitch with a low life ass nigga. What are we talking about? Like, come on. I'm just being honest. Like, and I get it. Like, everybody is on the internet. We're all at the same playing field. But let's be clear. No, we're not. There are no participation trophies because you can press live. If you a know-nothing, low-down ass bitch, I'm a dirty dog ass bitch. There's a difference. But you a low-life ass bitch. There is no competition. There is no, oh, she gonna be on my neck for what? Until the food stamps kick in so she can go to the grocery store and get distracted for another, 25 days. Until a TANF check comes in so she can go and buy school supplies and stuff, and then she gets, like, get the fuck out of here. What are we talking about? Stop. Like, that shit's not even, you be on my neck for what and how, when you got half the internet getting ready to crucify you. You can't be here. You need to go and focus. You need to go and you need to go and find some self-respect. I'm just saying. You need to go and find some self-respect, because you're not going to get none here. I mean, if you want to be a real bitch, you should stick around here. I'll get you together. You taking that badass advice from Asiababy. That's the reason why you want to shit you in now. Listening to another low-life ass bitch give you a bad advice with a verbally abusive nigga who don't wash his ass and who wear 2 plaits to the back with no money and no savings account and no future, nothing. Like, calling himself a sovereign citizen. I ought to smack the dog shit out of both of y'all together. One just slide across the face. Just sound fucking slow. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, shit is crazy. Just low life. I don't even give a fuck about these people. I don't even know what the fuck we talking about. Let's find something else. I don't even give a fuck. I'm just saying. I needed to get that off about Asiababy because she is very dangerous. She's a dangerous ass bitch. She's a dangerous woman, you know, and you find a toxic man, you best believe Asia gonna be right behind him posting videos about him and how he's the best man and the best dad in the universe ever. I don't gotta repeat it. I'm sure there's a blogger in here and you'll be able to recap it tonight, okay? I'm sure there's a blogger who snipped this whole clip and you'll be able to get it tonight. I'm sure of it, okay? I'm just saying, I'm not a big fan of women who like, you know what I mean? I'm just not a fan of women who like do dumb shit like that. Like she had one chance. What's up, Petty? She had one chance to get away from that man and she squandered it. The internet will never forgive you and they'll never help you leave him again. You gonna have to show up with like a broken wrist on the internet or something, but the internet I'm telling you, they never gonna let you forget that. They are never gonna let you forget that you had that one chance to get away from him. I mean, I know when she was live, I was gifting her heavy. I would probably say I gifted her anywhere between $300 and $400 in gifts alone. When she was live that day, she was if y'all remember, the bitch was at a bus station. She was, and she had been going live for a few days. Sorry, somebody was calling. And she had gone live for a few days and she was getting cash apps. She was getting, girl, I know. I don't even pocket watch, but this is important to try and clock. I don't pocket watch, but this is important. She had to have raised anywhere between $3,000 and $5,000 if I had to take a guess. Because people had already been wanting her to get away from that man since they would both collectively join the morning show. People been wanting her to get away from him. And then when the time finally came and she was on live stream, she was by herself and everyone was like, where's James? She's like, I left. Everyone's like, oh my God, she really left. And James was going live and he was acting all down and out and people was like, damn. And you knew she left because she was in a city. She was in a city and I had never seen Snappa in a city. I've always seen her in like the sticks. When she was in that city, people was like, damn, she really doing it. And the bitch turned right around and came right back to him. You know? You said, was he physically abusive to her? I don't know, but okay, so I don't know. And I'm not going to speculate whether he was or not. But based off of his behavior alone, the way he talks to her, calls her bitches, calls all kinds of stuff. Snappa and James used to be on the morning show, Black Diamond's morning show every morning, very consistently. I would say for a solid 2 years. And they would, you know, because Diamond has panels and she also has topics. And they would talk. And then because they live in the same household, oftentimes they would, in one box, you could hear both their voices. There was such a long litany of data. There were so many morning show episodes. There were so many live streams of James and Snappa going at it. The abusive language being used, the calling her out of her name, she's pathetic, there are so many. So when you ask, was he physically abusive? It doesn't matter. Before Snappa tried to wage her escape, there was already a litany of, I'm not even exaggerating, hundreds of videos of them going at it with each other, him degrading her, him saying all kinds of nasty defamatory, her saying the stuff back too, but she's a woman and we don't give a fuck about niggas, right? And by the time that she had plotted her escape, if you will, there was already, you could probably fit 10 terabytes of data of just clips and clips and clips and clips and clips of James and Snappa going at it. So by the time she planned her escape, you didn't need evidence he was beating her. Everybody had already seen it. Everybody had already seen the verbal abuse. So it's a type of statement that is often used times in law. It's like if-then statements, or you see it a lot in logic, or you see it a lot in like, it's like Aristotle logic. When you use sentences like if-then, it's an if-then statement. if this happens, then this should follow. So if a man is being verbally abusive, then it's likely he is also physically abusive. It just follows. You don't need empirical evidence with if-then statements because they just follow. If this is a banana, then it is implied it is yellow. It's just simple, right? So if he is verbal, and he's doing it publicly, right? If that is how he engages with Snappa in the public, I can only imagine what he does when the cameras are off and the mics are muted. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? He's very braggadocious about his abuse. He does not give a fuck. He is very braggadocious about how he verbally abuses and terrorizes that household. So I can only imagine. And Snappa, because she's not very bright and she's not very self-aware, she has no self-confidence, she often misconstrues his verbal abuse as attention, affection, him showing me adoration. She oftentimes conflates those because he mixes them, right? And there was a clip that I listened to today of James explaining how he's a sexual deviant and a pervert and a pedo. What was on that panel? I think Slim was on the panel. And Slim and Snappa were going at it in this clip. And James either drops Snappa or he mutes her. And he says, what I'm not going to let you do is argue with Snappa. If you want to argue with someone, argue with me. That is mental. Like psychological abuse. So now Snappa's thinking, oh, he's not going to let men argue with me? God, he does love me. That's psychological abuse, right? To make her conflate, just in the first breath, calling her a bitch and a whore, and you're a terrible fucking mother. Oh, but I'm not going to let him argue with you. Don't you argue with her. It conflates her thinking like, oh, well then I can't be a bitch or a whore because he won't even let other men argue with me. That's protected. That's fake. That's pseudo protection, right? It's pseudo. It's not real. It's not real. So and imagine him doing that on live streaming, we caught it. So you can understand the psychological abuse that he does behind closed doors is probably completely pervasive. It's probably just through the whole family. So you want me to believe that Snappa, who can't understand the difference between psychological abuse, psychological treatment of her, verbal abuse, is going to have a daughter who's going to also understand that when her mother barely understands it? Come on. Everyone who comes into James's vicinity is his next piece of prey. Everyone. Mailman, guy at the butcher shop, children, neighbors, anybody who comes into James' crosshairs, he is going to find out a way to manipulate. Men like James only get as far as they do because they have these manipulative tactics and they have dangerous women who prop them up. James would never make it that far if he surrounded himself by real ass niggas. Real ass country niggas. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. He would not survive. He wouldn't survive. He would be a goner if he interacted with niggas all day. But James interacts with women all day. And so it's easy to manipulate them, especially when they're young, impressionable, or Snappa, just a fucking idiot. You understand what I mean? So he's not going to do that. That's why he's not. Ask James the last time he went, got dressed up really nice, and had a boys' weekend with niggas. With niggas with money, with niggas with jobs. Hell, just niggas who is just niggas. Ask him that. He couldn't tell you. Those type of men do not hang out with men at all. That is his biggest fear. That's his biggest, most giantest fear, is to be around other men, because other men are going to clock you on your behavior. He's not going to be able to yell and scream and rah, 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 rah. He's not going to be able to do that with a man, because a man will knock him in his fucking mouth. They would knock those fucking braids out of his head. Him yapping like that at a man. He would never. Not my nigga. You open your mouth once to me and he gonna knock you clean on the motherfucking floor. It's not even a discussion. But James isn't going to talk like that to a man. That's why he's able to use his abusive tactics toward women and children. It's true. You know what I mean? It's true. He'll never do that. All the men, and some of the men that I've seen him on the one clip, that he was arguing with this guy. I forget the guy's name. But he dropped the guy from the panel. It was in the same clip. He dropped the guy from the panel, and the guy was calling, the guy was basically, he sounded like a nigga. He was like, man, you trifling as fuck. You a trifling ass nigga, something else. And James dropped him because he was too intimidating. it was too intimidating for James. It almost felt too close to home for him. And he was like, just dropped him. Yeah, I think that's what his name was. I don't know how to pronounce that. Squo? Is that how you say his name? Soup? I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I think that's who the guy was. And he dropped him immediately. Like, hold on. Like that. I was like, oh, he felt that. He felt that. He could feel that nigga's presence through the phone. He's like, boom, drop him, get him out of here. He's like, yeah, he was like, you know? So, yeah. So, it was a mess. It was a mess. Like, I don't know how this is going to pan out. I'm going to hope y'all do some good live streams, and I'll listen to them when I'm on my plane. And I'm sure this is going to make the Sunday. You know what? If I have time this weekend, I will watch. Thank you, Heartbreaker. If I have time this weekend, I will watch. If this makes it to, which I assume it's probably going to make it to the, what do I keep saying, the Sunday show. Bella's Accountability Court. I'll watch Accountability Court this Sunday. I need to see what's going to happen. Like, it's just crazy. I mean, the whole conversation is nuts. It's nuts, you know? It's nuts. The whole thing is just, I'm sorry. The whole thing is nuts. It really is. It's just nuts, and it's sick, and it's, you know, you not missed it. Go to the what's it called? Go to the blogs. It's all over the blogs. I only watched 2 clips, and I'll probably watch some more tonight if I'm just interesting. But like, what's it called? They're all over the blogs. Bald-Headed Activity is a good blogger. Petty Polly's another one. N4K is another good one. I Live for This Shit's another one. You can find clips on Mad Cal's page. Who else be blogging? Who else do I know be blogging? Oh, these TikTok Screets. Messy Web Watcher. Who's the other one? Jaw Dropper. You said me. Oh, you too, Mrs. Capricorn. I didn't know. Mommy Money as well. Yes, Mommy Money. Can't forget For the Haters as well. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of good ones. Yeah. So go to their pages. It's all over their page, y'all. It's a mess. I'm sorry, but it's. And gather Asia too. Gather Proxy as well. Gather Asiababy too. Gather her too. Don't leave no, because I let her have it today. Leave no stone unturned with that one. You said I can't read or something? Who, me? What was your comment? Tell me what your comment was. Don't get blocked talking crazy. Tell me what your comment was. I'll read it. What's up, Chrissy? You said she's in these comments fighting for her life. Who? You said protecting her daughter couldn't have been mine. Who's fighting for her life? You said I love For the Haters. Brown nose. Oh, it's a Taylor Swift page. She been going in on you. Who? Let up, Snapper. No, I'm not letting. Is that her in the box? Oh, Snapper, please. Y'all would never let. Snapper, you have to understand. You and I are not the same. I could never let you grace my presence. You're lucky enough to be in here. You're lucky I haven't blocked you yet. You and I can't sit on the same throne. There's only one room for one queen, and that's me. And I don't share my box with nobody I don't respect. Okay? So yeah, so unfortunately you can't come up here. You got to go back to your woods and your plaited braids and your verbally abusive husband, and you got to go take that business somewhere else. You can't come up here. You're not welcome. You're just not welcome up here. It's funny, you can't hang with me. You just can't hang with me. You can't. I can only let people if I have respect for. I don't have any respect for you, so you can't be over here. This is the Nosy Bystanders page. This is not some random ass bitch page. This ain't some, I am the Nosy Bystanders. I'm not going to just pretend that I'm not. I'm really that girl, and you are not, and you cannot hang over here. You can go hang out with Asiababy with her little blog of whatever she be compilating. I don't know who is teaching that girl how to edit, but please, you can go over there and hang out with her, but you cannot hang out over here. This is for the girls, and you are not one. Okay? You can't protect the child. You most certainly can't step over here. Yeah, you can't sit here. Nosy said, even if Pink, you can't sit with, you just can't sit with me. Like, I'm not going to say, I don't have to, you have to understand, like, I'm not a live streamer, so my live stream's health is not predicated on the most controversial guest. When I have guests in my box, it's because I actually want to hear from them and I enjoy their company and I enjoy their time, right? My live stream is not predicated on that. So having Snap over here doesn't do shit for me. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, it doesn't do anything for me because, again, at the end of the day, it doesn't bring anything to me. It doesn't bring me anything. Like, I get brand deals and stuff like that through what I produce on the For You page. So having Snap up here would simply just give me a headache. I don't gain anything out of it. I don't gain anything out of it. Does that make sense? So she's more than welcome to be a loser in the waiting box. I see her. But she's more than welcome to be a loser down there. She cannot be a loser up here because this is no space for losers. We win on this team. This is a winning team. We can't have losers over here. Could you imagine the stain it would put on us if we just had, just a box of losers, just a box of losers. Like, and also I don't find Snappa interesting, so I wouldn't have her up here to begin with, you know? Yeah, like, come on now, Snappa. What did you think this was? The Cool Kids Club, and thank you, Lady T. It's the Cool Kids Club, and you can't get in. You just can't get in. You got to go get in somewhere else. Unfortunately, I made my space very clear. Only people I find interesting come in my box. If you've seen people in my box, that means Nosy thought they were actually quite interesting and entertaining. If they were not in my box, that should give you your answer. Yeah, like, come on now. Please. So what were those pages you see those clips on? Mommy Money, Mrs. Capricorn, she's also in the chat. Petty Polly, Ball-Headed Activity, I Live for This Shit, Mad Cow, D's TikTok Streets, Messy Web Watcher, and Jaw Dropper. They said Proxy has some clips too, and that was it. And 4K as well. They're talking about all the mess that had gone on last night. Thank you, Lady T. You said you need to block that Nina girl. I don't know what her issue is, but she seems mad. I think that's Snappa, they said. You said, I used to think I could read someone down, but I just learned that I have never. You got to. You just got to do it and do it one time for the one time. You said, I'm reposting all I come across. Okay, yes.